Hello, yeah, we are back, and today is Friday. Today we are going to talk about fantasy, how it has happened. We are also going to look at the first 11 for Chelsea and Man City, if you include both teams. It's just comparing which team probably is better or which team will win. And then we'll also look at how the table will have changed, like our prediction table, how it changes this week. But first, there's this interview between Messi and Zidane, and there were certain things that the two are talking about. But one thing that was apparent was the number 10 position. Like recently or currently, what people calls the modern football doesn't need, or most coaches do not perceive that it needs the number 10 position. However, or what we call paradoxically, every coach, every former player, current players, and most attackers are building their football around the number 10, or the position they say versatile. Like they could play anywhere, they could play as a midfielder and as a striker, or even as a winger. Those types of guy were in the past. All those guys were number 10, the person who could link up the midfielders to the strikers. Now, all these formations, the 4-3-3, the 4-4-2, and most of the formations, they don't like they don't need the number 10, or most coaches think they don't need a number 10, but those coaches usually suffer. Like an example is Pochettino's Chelsea. During the friendly games, he used to use a number 10, and number 10 was always there. But currently, the way they are playing, and I think that's why they're finding it difficult to score, is because the number 10, they are using a number 10 who's not supposed to be the number 10. You look at Arsenal, they have like two number 10s who on most occasions usually fall back to. They play like 4-3-3, but they put the Odegaard and Havertz as number 10s. A lot of coaches usually want to change how they play, even Pep, how he rotates players, how he uses players who in the past will have played or will have played as number 10, but currently they are playing in, like they're versatile, they're playing everywhere. And I don't know why modern football requires players to be versatile in that way. Like you see, people like Foden, you don't know if they're midfielders, if they are wingers. Like they will play, you'll find Pep playing them in wing one time, they're playing as that pseudo 10, they're playing as an 8. The same way for Bernardo Silva. Even when you come to Chelsea, even when you go to Arsenal, you'll find that most number 10s do not play as number 10s. Most wingers, they'll play as a winger today, tomorrow they'll not be playing as a wing. Either they'll be a striker or they will move back as a midfielder. And the other thing was Pep, I think last week when Duku scored like 3 goals, he was really talking about how he gives freedom to players to either dribble, especially the wingers. But when you see how those coaches usually handle their mistakes, if a winger makes a mistake, which is expected if a winger wants to dribble every time, they don't take mistakes easily. Like most coaches do not allow their players to make a mistake, especially coaches in those big teams. Like if you look at even Wolves, how Neto plays, how who's this guy, how all those wingers used to play. Like you go to a mid-table team and you check on how the wingers of those mid-table team usually play. You'll find that a lot of them have been given this freedom to dribble, to run with the ball from half to the other half to try and score. But the wingers from these big teams, they are usually they are you could say they play in a like blocky. If they are not running, they are not allowed to dribble any person. If you dribble, there's a high chance that you lose the ball. And especially now that they are playing against very low blocks, like a lot of teams when they face a big team, when they face the Man City, when they face, I don't think Man United is one of them, when they face Arsenal, when they face Chelsea in Premier League, and even I don't know if Spain usually plays like that, but if we are talking about Premier League, those three teams, when they face any other team or teams from the position 10 and back, you'll find that they'll always be facing a low block, which usually hampers the ability for their wingers to dribble. And you can't dribble three people. So you'll be forced to always be passing. The only way, the thing that I think especially differentiates Man City and Chelsea is how this guy passes. You could say that even Chelsea has, to some extent, quite a good squad, even when compared to Man City. Probably the first 11 in Chelsea will is just as good as the Man City's first 11. The only difference usually comes with the tactics employed and especially the speed of passing. Man City, when they attack you, they have this kind of, I think, synergy where they're always passing fast. They know everywhere where each player is, and I think that's what helps them. The problem with that is sometimes you find a team just decides to play a low block, and now you'll need like players who can dribble. And I think Pep realized that. That's why he has Doku, and that's why he's giving him freedom to dribble. But most players usually just they wouldn't want a player to dribble. They wouldn't want a player to, and I think that's the same results. And that's why people are suggesting that we should bring back the tens, because the 10, when they link up, they just open the spaces. They're also expected to be like not necessarily how midfielders play. They're expected to play as wingers. They are expected to be dribbling, to be passing two or three players, to be like the creative, to offer the creative or the creativity part of a team and allow the team to progress in their offensive play. I don't know if in the coming days or in the coming weeks, most coaches will still want to play with 10. If they do, well and good. If they don't, I don't know. Last week, last week's Spurs lost. And as I told you, like there will come a time when Spurs will start losing, and I don't know if they'll be able to maintain their position. When I talked about my this predicted table, this was my prediction table last week. A lot of people said, why don't you think like Spurs will win the league or even will be above? As you saw last week, and I explained how Spurs usually they have players, they play as a team, they usually work so hard, work for the team, but they just don't have the right squad to win, especially if one or two gets an injury. And this game week, we will see how they'll play without two or three of their best players. So I think also, as I said, I think Man City will still finish one, Arsenal will be two, Spurs will be three. I don't know about Liverpool. As much as Liverpool play well, you saw in the Champions League, they just decided to lose. Sometimes they play well, but when they you expect that they will lose some of the games. Again, Aston Villa, Newcastle. I just think I don't want to change this table for this week. I don't think anything will surprise me as much as Chelsea. I think they're playing so well. You'll want them to win the games, but I can't trust them. I think probably Man United. Okay, the right position, Brighton the right position, West Ham the right position. And having heard, like I just had the was it Spurs Angie pre-game, what do you call it, pre-game, is it a conference, pre-game interview. He's saying that also Madison will not be there, and just that just led me to think about my fantasy team. My fantasy team is not doing so well. Like I thought by now I'll have reduced I'll have reduced a lot of the where's my fantasy? Yeah, is my fantasy? It's not here. It's not here. Where's my fantasy? Not here. Where's my fantasy? Not here. Where's my fantasy? I can't see my fantasy. Where's my fantasy? Oh, last week I had it's here. Let me check. Last week I got 33, which is a poor score. But I increased my rank. I was position 14 and now I was in position 40,000 and now I'm in position 34,000, which means that I'm improving. The first position has 795 and I have 708. So I reduced the difference to 90. What is it? 90, 80, 87. Now we need to reduce the difference further to probably 80 or even 70 something. And now, as I told you, my how I play is to always look at which team are these guys playing against. And now I have only one substitution. I know Johnston is playing with Everton. I can't change that. Alexander Liverpool with Brentford. I can't change that. Aston Villa. Probably this one. Gusto with Man City. I know Gusto may not play. Cash. Haaland will play. Now, as much as I think these guys are not going to win, I'll still have Haaland in the first 11, but I'm going to put Watkins as the captain. Then I'll have to remove one of these guys, either Haaland or Alvarez. I know my squad is not looking so good. I don't know if Saka will play. Did Saka play Premier League? I don't know. Did he play in Champions League? I'll have to make a substitution, and I'm going to make a substitution. I'm going to remove Alvarez. I think Alvarez has not been performing so well. You could look at his statistics and you will see history. 2 points, 2 points, 9 points, 2 points, 8 points, 1 point, 9.15. From the time he lost, I know he's getting some points, but for the price, what price is he having? 7.2. And he's going to face Chelsea, then Liverpool, then Tottenham. No, I can't bank on that guy. So this is the guy that I'll remove this week. But I have to get a defender who will have. I needed to look at the fixtures first. I know which, not fixtures. Okay, fixtures, yeah. But how this guys to know which player should I from which team. Now I could take a Brighton striker. That will be good. A Crystal Palace striker, Everton striker, Man United striker, Sheffield striker, even Spurs striker. But West Ham striker is the best striking option. If it's West Ham, let me go with West Ham, Man United, West Ham, Man United, or Brighton. Let me check out all these strikers, striking options. Forwards. You have Ketia, no. Darwin, no. Wisa, no. Where? We have Ferguson. Should we take Ferguson? Let me check his history. 2-8. No. No way. Antonio. History. This one is what I was looking for. No way. Hodgland. Where? Oh, Awoni. History. Taiwo was performing some. No. Who can I take? Man United. Hodgland, will you score? What's happening with you? 2-2. Whoa. Hey, this guy has not even scored. Wow. Why should I take you? I don't know any strike. Or just take Darwin. Are playing Brentford, then Man City, and then Fulham. Why? History 10. There's no any good striking options. So maybe I just maybe there are no any good striking options. I don't know what will I do. This now is guesswork. Now this is guesswork. Guesswork. Maupay. Bad fixture. Bad fixtures. No. Should I take Mateta? Well, okay, I can take Mateta, but my fantasy. Mateta really scored in game week 5, hasn't scored up to now. He didn't even play in the last game. Why should I take this guy? Who will play? Who will play between Callum Wilson and Isaac? So this one will not play, but Wilson might play. So probably just sign Wilson. Oh, I can't afford him. Shit, what's happening? Well, I'll take Ferguson, I don't care. I think he's slightly cheaper. He's facing two good fixtures and there's no any good option. So I might just take Ferguson. I don't know how he will play. But this week will be a disaster. Now, if I add Ferguson to who? Gusto. Then I take Gusto. Oh, probably Van der Ven may play. Hamstring injury, no? Love to remove this guy. And remove this guy. Saka may not play. Knock, but might play. Let me leave him there. Now this will be my team, but this team is pretty ass. Anyway, somebody asked me to create the first 11 for both Chelsea and Man City. And I think I will start with who? Let me first create this one. I failed. Now I can start adding people. Who do I add first? Okay, I've just decided midfielder. I think Bernardo Silva has to play in the mid area as number 10. Diaz also has to play as a defender. I think there's a chance we should also have Ederson, right? I think so. But as right back, we should have this guy, Reece James. Like Kyle Walker is not as good as Reece James. So I think Reece James should be in the combined 11 for Man City and Chelsea. I think also Silva should be in the combined 11 of Man City and Chelsea. And on this other side, who do we call it? The the holding midfielder. The holding midfielder, as you all know, should be Rodrigo. Yeah, I think Rodrigo should be the holding midfielder, but we should also be having Enzo Fernandez. I would have said if I was to choose, I think the combined 11 at the midfield should be Rodrigo, Bernardo, and Enzo Fernandez. Defender should be keeper Ederson. We should also be having Silva, Diaz, Reece James, and I think we should be having, who's this guy? I know most people will say no, 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 but I was looking at between Cucurella and Vardiol. Vardiol is not even a left back. Nathanake is not even a left back. So the right answer should always be Cucurella. And then on left wing we should have, who should we have on the left wing? Yeah, Doku should. I think Doku is better than Sterling and Modric. So Doku should always be there. And then on this other side we have the likes of Foden. Oh, this guy. I know you don't want him to be there, but I think Cole Palmer should be the right wing. Like who? Foden is not better than Palmer. Who again? Who's better than Palmer in Man City? Who can play right wing? There's nobody. Nobody. Then strikers always Haaland. Then the coach should be Pep. I think this should be the combined first 11 of Chelsea and Man City. Yep, I think that's that for today.